Today we will talk about doing operations with decimals. Let's start by fixing the number of decimals after the decimal point. That's usually done with a fixed button or menu. This one is under setup. So I'm going to go get the setup. And here's the fix command. To get the fix command, I'm wiggling my cursor. Pick 6. And then you decide how many digits. Let's say 3. Now I'm going to do these simple operations. Let's say 2.3. Make sure you locate your decimal point. Plus 3.45. To get the answer, push. And you will see it. And you have 3 digits. Same thing. 3.6888. Now I entered 4. But remember, I had set it to 3. That means it's going to go and round it automatically. Let's go do this one. 2 times 3.55. Okay, even though I have nothing after 1, so it could have said 7.1, it said 100 because I forced the calculator to have 3 digits. 9 divided by 3.456 equals. So this is how you do your simple operations. Push it and then push the equal button at the end. Now if you want to go back and see what the heck you did, you can go up. Most calculators do have those up, down, sideways buttons, and up and down button will get you around. Okay, so you're not going to lose those things. Now, if I want to do certain special things like 2.4 to the cube, 2.4, now to the cube, if you look in here, these buttons are usually like x to the y or y to the x or x to something. So I'm going to push this. Oops. And for example, here I'm going to take the cube, 3. And close the parentheses, and it gave you 824. Now, if I want to do, let's say 2.4 cube, using the cube button, some calculators also have that. You can push 2.4, watch, and then I push the cube button. You see? And then it's going to give you the same answer, 13.824. Now, if I want to take the square root, you push the square root button and you push 9.06. You see, I see a left parentheses. That means I need the right parentheses equals. Now, if I want to take cube root, and those are usually built in. Do you see this cube root in here? And I have to get to it with the shift key. So push that, shift. Now I need to enter the number, 27.456. Since I have the left parentheses, I need to have the right equals. Okay? So we did the how many decimals setup. We already did that. Let's look at the answer memory. Now watch. I have this 3.017. If I want to add 2 to it, for example, I can, instead of re-entering it, I can say plus 2. Look what it did. It kept it in the memory and then add 2 to it equals. Do you see that? Now let's say I want to take 5.017 and let's subtract that from 10. Let's say I go to 10 minus, and what was the answer? That's the very last thing in the answer thing. And you can say answer, and it's going to subtract 5.017 from 10. And you get 4.983. So there are a couple of tricks you can do with the answer memory. Independent memory, most calculators will have some like M plus M minus button. One way to do that, let's say I want to store 4.983 into the memory, you can go second store, and there's usually a store button of some sort, and now push the memory button. And then you will see the answer is stored into the memory. Now, if you want to recall it, what you need to do is just say recall memory, and then it's going to have it there. Okay? So store memory, recall memory, and then you're going to go back and forth. The hardest one in decimals probably is the order of operations. Let's try to do a couple of these guys. Here what I'm doing is I'm dividing first and then multiplying and then subtracting. So let's do that. I need to divide these two. And it looks like a fraction. I can use a fraction button if I want. Let's clear everything. I push the fraction. Oops. Let's say I have 27.5 divided by 3.2. 27.5 fraction button 3.2. Do you see that? Then I can go equals, and it just divided it. Now I need to multiply by 4.4, and I push equal, and now I need to subtract minus 5.96. And you have to kind of keep the answer in mind. This is 31.853. Now let's try to do it the same thing with parentheses. I'll put the left parentheses and say 27.5 divided by 3.2, close parentheses. Now I'm going to multiply this by 4.4. Now, that way I don't push the equal thing, minus 5.96. Your calculator does know the operations, the order of operations. So I should be getting 31.853. And I did. Now let's try this one. 2.5 times. What do I have? The parentheses. Left parentheses 4 minus 3.4, close parentheses. So it looks just like this one, minus 1.1 equals. Now let's try this one with an exponent. 3 times 2.6. I'm going to use the cube button. And then you may or may not have the cube button. If you don't have the cube button, you have y to the x or x to the y button, or some kind of caret, which is kind of like upside down arrow. Okay, 2.6 cube plus 17.2 minus 2. Okay, so it looks just like the one that I entered equals. Here we go.